Hello, I'm the Shadow Critic, and today I'm reviewing Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Now I should probably start off by giving my thoughts on the first movie. I thought the first movie was really good, I really liked it. The only part that kind of didn't make sense to me was the ending, where it's implied that she defeats him, but then he still gets her in her dreams, but then she's implied to be alive in this movie, so I didn't really get that. But apart from that, I really liked the first movie. I thought the acting was good, the horror was good, the suspense was good, and the gore was excellent. They did it just right. They went far, but they didn't go too far, you know? I like it when a movie does gore well, when it goes far, but not too far. I don't like gratuitous gore, but I do enjoy when it's well done, and I think the first movie captured that. So with that said, let's check out the second movie. So our movie starts off on a school bus. We see our protagonist, who's called Jesse, and for some reason he has the wettest hair in the world. You're using too much gel, kid. It's like Ross and Friends said, a pea-sized amount will do. Jesse is accompanied on the school bus by two horrible girls who make snarky comments about him. However, it soon becomes clear that something is wrong. The bus isn't stopping to let anyone on or off. Then the bus starts to drive off-road at rapid speeds. Things start to heat up for Jesse, and before long the ground itself starts to crumble away. I didn't know Fredy Kruger was Australian. Apparently he wants to take a trip down under. Jesse wakes up screaming, and his sister says this is a regular occurrence that she finds weird. I don't agree though. Ever since I saw 12 Crazy Nights, I wake up screaming all the time, and it seems like a perfectly normal reaction to that movie to me. Jesse's family are having breakfast and they invite him to join them. However, the doorbell rings and it turns out that it's Jesse's friend Lisa who he needs to drive to school.
Why, Lisa? Why?
While at school, Jesse and the other boys are forced to play baseball, while the girls get to do archery. How is that fair? The boys have to play baseball, which is the most boring game ever invented, and at the same time they're forced to watch the girls having fun shooting bow and arrows? School sucks. This is Lisa's friend. She has a name, but Lisa pronounces it weird and I can't work out what she's saying.
So you getting any yet, Lise? Gary, he's my ride to school, okay?
It sounds like she's saying Gary, like Gary Oak.
Mr. Gary to you, show some respect.
Anyway, Gary, or whatever her name is, isn't very important to the story, despite the fact she's one of the main characters. So I'm just going to call her Lisa's friend from now on. Anyway, one of the guys playing baseball with Jesse is named Grady. And from the way they pronounce his name, I thought they were saying the word gravy.
Look, Grady, you got some problem with me.
But it turns out that they're actually saying Grady. Anyway, Jesse gets Grady out of the game, and in retaliation, Grady pulls Jesse's pants down and proceeds to wrestle him while his pants are still down. Now, to me it seems a little weird that this guy would want to wrestle him while his pants are down, but whatever, I guess. Anyway, the fight causes the coach, a man named Schneider, to come over and punish them. While they're being forced to hold the plank position in the field, Grady tells Jesse that the coach is a homosexual who gets sexual pleasure from punishing young pretty boys like Jesse.
The guy gets his rocks off like this. Hangs around queer S&M joints downtown. He likes pretty boys like you.
Whatever you say, man, but you're the one who pulled down Jesse's pants and then started wrestling with him. Now what would you say if I told you that the gay BDSM coach is one of the most important characters in this movie and that a large amount of the plot focuses around him? You would probably think that I'm lying because a movie wouldn't be that stupid, but that's where you'd be unfortunately wrong. Anyway, the boys start to get along and Grady tells Jesse that his new house used to belong to Nancy and that it has a bad reputation for the tragedy that took place there so long ago in a far, far better movie. Oh, the first movie, if only I were watching it now. Later that night, Jesse wakes up and he hears someone moving around in his boiler room. He tries to run away, but Fredy catches him. Fredy tells him that he wants his body. But not in the Coach Snyder way, in the evil demon possessing you way.
We need you, Jesse. We got special work to do here, you and me. You've got the body. I've got the brain.
So after that last scene, you might think this movie is finally about to get interesting. But that's where you'd be wrong. Jesse goes back to school once again, for even more boring, drawn-out scenes of his dull suburban school life. This movie is so boring, even Jesse can't stay awake for it. We then get a scene where it looks like something interesting is about to happen. But it turns out the snake actually isn't from Fredy, it's a prank by Grady.
If you want to play with animals, Mr. Walsh, join the circus.
I'm not really sure how having a snake almost strangle him to death classifies as a prank, but apparently it does. We then get a thrilling scene of Jesse unpacking his stuff. Lisa comes over to help him, and they find Nancy's old diary.
Nancy Thompson, 1428 Elm Street.
They then immediately begin invading Nancy's privacy by reading her diary, and to add some extra insult, they skip straight to the sexy parts. To be honest, if I were in this situation, I would have done the exact same thing. But while reading, they find a section on Fredy. Jesse recognizes Fredy from his nightmares due to the description of his steel claws.
He comes to me at night, horrible, ugly, dirty, under the sheets with me, tearing at my nightgown with his steel claws. His name is Fred, and he keeps trying to take me to the boiler room. He wants to kill me.
And the mention of the boiler room further cements his suspicion that something very bad is happening. Later, Jesse wakes up to find that his lamp has been replaced by a crappy Halloween decoration. Jesse goes down to the boiler room and discovers Freddy's knife glove inside the boiler. Fredy tells Jesse to try it on, but Jesse resists Freddy's control. Then Jesse wakes up, but he discovers that the glove has entered the real world. Later, as the family is relaxing, one of their pet birds explodes. And I'm not really sure why we're supposed to assume that Fredy did it. I mean, it's always been implied that he can't interact with people and objects outside of the dream world. They might be implying that Fredy did something to the birds and made them explode while they were asleep, but that's still not a satisfactory answer, because it just raises the question, if Fredy can still kill people and animals while they're asleep, then why does he need Jesse at all? And the movie really plays up this bird chase, like it's the scariest thing in the world. Look, if it didn't work for Birdemic, it's not going to work here, okay? Seriously, I wish I could play you guys the music they're using. Combined with the angles, it's shot to make it look so scary, but it just isn't. Then Jesse has another bad dream, so he goes into the kitchen, and lightning hits some plates and makes them explode. Okay. Why did that happen? Am I supposed to be intimidated by this? Is this supposed to be scary? Oh yeah, in the other movies he was just murdering people. I was like, whatever. But in this one he destroyed some plates. Or maybe it wasn't Fredy at all. Maybe it was God trying to end the movie by killing Jesse. Anyway, Jesse is afraid of what's happening. His dreams seem to be somehow influencing reality. Supernatural events seem to be happening all around him. So Jesse does what any rational person would do when being plagued by a dream-haunting demon from hell. He goes to a gay bar. Oh, come on, movie. This makes no sense. What would he be doing there? He's not even gay. You can't just have a character do something because the script needs them to do it. Your characters need to have reasons behind their actions. So Jesse orders a beer because he somehow knows they won't check his ID, but unfortunately Coach Schneider is there and catches them. Coach Schneider and Jesse return to school at night, and Coach Schneider forces Jesse to run laps. The best part about the scene is that they go straight to the school, and I mean straight to the school. They don't even stop by Coach Schneider's house first, so he can change his costume. He literally just wears his BDSM suit to the school. Dude, are you trying to get fired? Jesse finishes running laps and takes a shower. Meanwhile, weird things are happening in Coach Schneider's office. Rackets start destroying themselves, and balls start getting thrown off the wall. And once again, I'm so confused by this. I thought Fredy was limited to the dream world. Why can he suddenly manipulate objects in reality? He couldn't do this in the last movie, and shouldn't he be weaker than he was in the last movie? And if he can manipulate objects in reality, why does he need Jesse? Now, I don't know whether it was bad acting or bad directing, but Schneider just stands around looking bored while all of this is happening. It really ruins any limited enjoyment you could take from this awful kill scene. Then some skipping ropes come to life, tie Schneider up and drag him away. Well, these kills may be boring, but at least they're not making us watch Schneider's gay porn videos. Then Schneider gets dragged into the showers with Jesse? Wait a minute, he's tied up with ropes in the shower.
NANI?!
No, movie! No! You can't actually be going where I think you're going with us! Then Schneider gets dragged into the showers. He gets tied up by skipping ropes, and his clothes get torn off. Look, movie, I was just joking about the gay porn. Please don't actually make us watch a gay porno starring Coach Schneider and Fredy Kruger.
No mercy.
Unfortunately, this movie has no mercy at all. I can't actually show you what happens next because YouTube won't let me. So instead I'm just going to describe it to you. Schneider gets pulled into the showers and Fredy Kruger makes ropes tie him to the showers. Next, Fredy makes all of his clothes tear off. Finally, Fredy has a towel come to life and start whipping Schneider's bare ass. No, I am not joking. I know it sounds like I'm making a gay joke, but I'm not. I swear to God this actually happens in the movie. I just can't show it to you because of YouTube regulations. Okay, honestly, movie, what the hell were you thinking? Why did you think this would be a good idea? Why did you think anyone would want to see a gay porno between Coach Schneider and Fredy Kruger? What the hell were you thinking? Then Fredy Kruger finally decides to finish Coach Schneider. By finish, I mean murder. I don't mean anything else. And given the nature of this movie so far, we should be thankful that he's just going to murder him. So Fredy gives Coach Schneider 2 slashes across his back, killing him. Then the showers start shooting red dye. Ooh, it's so scary! Not because it looks like blood, but because it's so fake. Then Jesse looks down to see that he's the one wearing the razor glove, which presumably means that he killed Coach Schneider? But I don't really know what happened here, to be honest. The movie seems to be implying that Jesse killed Coach Schneider, but at the same time we just saw Fredy do all that stuff in Coach Schneider's office. Are they implying all of that was Jesse? Coach Schneider just stood around while Jesse trashed his office? Maybe that would explain why he looked so bored. Maybe it was just confusion. Anyway, I'm not really sure who killed Coach Schneider, but he's dead. So thank God, this will be the last time I have to see his ass. Oh, wait a minute! I have to edit this crap! The next day when they arrive at school, the police are already there. Hopefully when they write Schneider's obituary, they'll leave out the part about him being found naked, tied up in the boys' showers, with a BDSM suit in his office. That all might be kind of hard to explain. Later on, Jesse is woken up by scratching, and he finds Freddy's gloves in his drawer. They seem to almost have a life of their own. Then Jesse hears Freddy's trademark theme song, and I would love to play it for you, but I can't. Because YouTube is run by incompetent hacks. The next morning, Fredy commits his worst crime yet. He ruins breakfast!
absolutely nothing, I mean nothing, wrong with this house. Come on.
Oh, come on, Fredy. They were having waffles. What kind of a monster are you? The next morning, Lisa takes Jesse to the power plant where Fredy Kruger killed 20 kids. Because taking a guy who believes that he's possessed by Fredy Kruger to the power plant where Kruger killed 20 kids can't have any negative ramifications whatsoever. Horror movies have taught me that this can only end well. But while at the power plant, they hear something in a closet. They go over to open the closet, and it's a rat. It's a rat. This movie is so boring. I feel like that Simpsons episode in which Bart says, you know what would have been scarier than nothing?
The fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door that I scarce was sure I heard you.
Here I opened wide the door.
This better be good.
Darkness there, and nothing more.
Huh?
You know what would have been scarier than nothing? What? Anything!
Well, you know what would have been scarier than a rat?
What?
Fredy Kruger! Later that night, we see someone moving through the house. It's Jesse. He enters his sister's room, and he stands over her. He wakes her up, but he tells her to go back to sleep. Then we see that he's wearing Kruger's razor gloves. And this is a legitimately frightening scene. This is a legitimately suspenseful, frightening scene. Well done, movie. I didn't know you could do stuff like this. The next day, Lisa's party starts, and Jesse gets an opportunity to sleep with her. But he would rather sleep with Grady instead. To be honest, we should have probably seen this coming.
Hey, what the fuck you doing in my room?
I think you already know what Jesse wants, Grady, and don't act like you don't want it too. Remember, you were the one who pulled his pants down.
Giggity, 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 let's have sex.
No, okay. He's not really there for that. Jesse wants to sleep in Grady's room because for some reason, Jesse believes that Grady will be able to stop him from killing people.
I need you to let me stay here tonight.
Are you out of your mind?
Jesse tells Grady that he killed Snyder and he thinks he's going to be forced to kill again.
I killed Snyder.
You what?
Well, it wasn't me, see? There's something inside of me. And last night it made me go to my sister's room.
I think you are seriously losing it, bro.
I'm in trouble. And I need you to help me. Okay?
All right, man. What do you want me to do?
So he asks Grady to watch him while he sleeps. But that doesn't really solve anything, does it? I mean, what happens if Jesse just kills Grady too? Nah, that probably won't happen. It'll probably be fine. But as it turns out, it wasn't fine. Jesse dreams that Fredy Kruger is inside him, trying to break out. As Fredy tears out of Jesse, Grady bangs on the door, screaming for his father to break it down. But it's too late. Grady is impaled through the door. Jesse wakes up covered in blood, wearing the razor glove, realizing that he's killed Grady.
You son of a bitch!
Jesse runs back to the party, covered in Grady's blood. There he meets Lisa, who tries to calm him down, and tells him that Fredy can be defeated. Lisa read the final part of Nancy's diary, and in it Nancy says that if you don't fear Fredy, you can defeat him.
I know now that I brought him into my world. We all did. Gave him all the energy he needed. Our screams were all he needed. Jesse, she wasn't crazy. All this really happened. You can fight him.
Well, wait a minute, Lisa. How long have you known that for? Why were you keeping that one so quiet? Jesse's over here being possessed by Fredy Kruger, and you know how to defeat him and you never told him? Anyway, back at the party, things are really heating up.
What's going on?
Wow, you might say those are some really hot dogs.
Shut up your mouth!
I'm sorry about that. Anyway, Lisa is trying to encourage Jesse to fight Fredy.
Oh God, he's coming back! Get out of here, Lisa!
Jesse, fight him.
I can't!
He is living off of your fear. Jesse, fight him.
Yeah, Jesse, will you stop being such a cuck and just fight Fredy already so this movie can finally end? Jesse screams and Lisa asks him if he's okay. But it turns out that Jesse has finally unlocked the Super Saiyan Kruger transformation. That's right, Jesse has literally transformed into Fredy Kruger. You know, even for a movie about a guy who kills kids in their dreams, this is pretty strange. It's a little known fact, but Fredy Kruger's only weakness is lamps. Lisa tries to flee from Fredy. Now wait a minute, what happened to your you can fight him attitude? You sure went from don't be afraid of him, he doesn't really exist, to fleeing in terror from him real quick. Anyway, Fredy tackles her, and then he, bites her? Dude, you literally have razor-sharp steel claws, and yet your method of attack is to try and bite her? However, Lisa kicks Fredy in the face, and then she escapes from him. Wow, Fredy really is having a lot of trouble taking down this teenage girl, and yet in a few years he's going to fight zombie Jason. What, did Fredy just do a load of push-ups between movies? Back at the party, things are getting worse. The pool is starting to boil, killing the teens inside. And for some reason, the teens don't just get out of the pool. Instead, they just continue splashing around inside of it like a bunch of suicidal Magikarp. Fredy decides to show Lisa how serious he is by knocking over some plates. It's not scary. He's supposed to be a demon from hell, and yet his most terrifying trademark is that he destroys cutlery. Lisa's friends look really afraid for her acting prospects after starring in this movie. Jesse asks Lisa to kill him from within Fredy.
Kill me, Lisa. Please kill me.
But Lisa doesn't want to. However, when Fredy lunges at Lisa, she stabs him. But to her surprise, the knife has seemingly no effect. Wait a minute, so Fredy can shake off a knife like it's nothing, but he can't take being kicked in the face. Makes sense, I guess. Lisa pleads with Jesse to fight Fredy.
Please, no.
I love you, Lisa.
Jesse, help.
And Freddy's so ashamed of being in this movie that he jumps through a window and literally disappears. Well, there you have it. I'm sure Freddy is really dead. I'm sure that really anticlimactic ending was the true end of the movie. I'm sure it's all over now. I'm sure he won't be coming back in this movie. Ooh, I believe he's really gone. The movie is over. Oh my god! Freddy's not dead? Okay, I just have to point out, this kid touching the gate has some of the worst acting in history. Ouch, the gate was hot. My hands are so burnt. So this one kid tries to talk some sense into Freddy.
Just calm down, all right? Relax. Just tell us what you want, all right? Yeah, I'm here to help you.
But Fredy tells him to talk to the grill.
Help yourself, fucker!
I'm sorry, I'm really trying to take this movie seriously, but this one girl's 80s haircut is distracting me. I mean, seriously, what is she wearing on her head? Man, this guy must really hate popcorn. Then, once again, the movie's budget runs out, so Fredy just walks off set again. Mr. Kruger, we aren't finished filming yet.
I don't care. If you can't pay me, I'm out of here.
But seriously, I love how nonchalantly Fredy just walks off set. Remember, this is supposed to be an internal battle between good and evil, two people fighting each other to control one body, but it looks like the actor just got hungry and decided to head off set to buy some chocolate. Like, maybe you could put some passion into it and make it look like, you know, someone is trying to control you and you're trying to force yourself away from the crowds or something, you know? Something like that. So Lisa goes to the power plant, and while there, she sees something truly terrifying. Dogs wearing crappy Halloween masks. Oh, you're so cute, you're so cute. Who put that Halloween mask on you? Who put that Halloween mask on you? Did you put that Halloween mask on? Was it you? Oh, you silly doggo, oh!
Jesse, I know you're in there. Stop him.
No, Jesse's dead.
I love you, Jesse. I am not afraid of you. He's in there, and I want him back.
And I want Futurama back, but it's not going to happen, is it? So, in a weird turn of events, the actress then starts making out with Fredy Kruger. Hey Lisa, if you're into undead child murderers who are back from hell, who have been horribly burnt, then I think I have the perfect man of your dreams. His name is William Afton. I'll set you two up on a date. Anyway, Lisa's kiss was so hot, Fredy Kruger's face starts to melt and then he bursts into flames. Well, Fredy, you really have no one but yourself to blame. You really shouldn't have looked into the Ark of the Covenant. What? Fredy is evolving? Wow, Fredy evolved into Jesse. Here's a little known fact for you. This was originally how the Blue Fairy was supposed to turn Pinocchio into a real boy, but test audiences found it to be too disturbing.
I can't believe it's actually all over.
I know, I can't believe the movie has finally ended either. Thank God, I'm finally free. The movie can't hurt me anymore.
Let's not talk about it.
Oh, trust me, when this movie is finally finished, I'm going to give it my best effort to repress the memory of ever watching it. God, this has to be the most awkward ride to school ever. Hey guys, sorry I got possessed by a demon and almost killed you all at the party last week. We can still be friends, right? The movie ends. Okay, so what did I think of this movie? The first 2/3 of this movie are boring as hell. They're mostly focused around the daily life of a suburban kid, and unfortunately that just isn't very interesting. There's just not a lot of interesting stuff. The movie is mostly about his relationship with Coach Schneider and his family, and it's just not that interesting to watch. And while that might work in another movie, this is supposed to be a slasher franchise, so unfortunately it just doesn't work. The final third of this movie is awesome, but for the same reason The Room is awesome. Not because it's intentionally good, but because it's so bad, it's hilarious. The stuff that happens is so ridiculous to watch, you kind of have to see it. However, the question is, like The Room, is it actually good? And the answer is no. The pacing of this movie is really slow. He just wakes up, has a bad dream, goes to school, goes to sleep, has a bad dream again, wakes up, goes to school again. It's just a really slow-paced movie. Most of the movie just focuses on his suburban life, so it's really slow. The original movie knew to focus on Fredy Kruger, which kept it feeling fast-paced. Yes, Nancy was the main character, but the focus was clearly on Fredy, keeping the movie fast. In this movie, it feels like the focus is on Jesse's suburban life, and Fredy Kruger is just sort of a intruder into it. It feels like two movies are being forced together. One is about the life of a suburban teen, and the other is about a serial-killing demon from hell. Unfortunately, they both feel like they're fighting for attention instead of mixing it together nicely. Aside from the party, which I don't really count because we don't know anyone who was there really, this movie has very few victims, and unfortunately they're not good. Like, I'm sorry, I just don't care about Coach Schneider. I don't care if he dies, and he doesn't make a good victim. I don't know why they would choose to make him such an important character to this movie. I have no idea why, but for some reason they really chose to make him a massive part of the plot. And Coach Schneider doesn't even have that much of a memorable personality. He barely even talks. The only thing he really does is chew gum. The only things we really know about Coach Schneider is that he likes to chew gum and he's a gay sadist. Aside from that, we don't really know anything about him. He's not a character a lot of people can relate to or get really invested in, so I don't really know why they chose to make him one of the most important victims in the movie. This brings me to another flaw in the movie. I watch a Nightmare on Elm Street movie because I want to see Fredy Kruger killing people. I don't want to see Jesse killing people. I watch a Nightmare on Elm Street movie specifically because I want to see Fredy Kruger kill people. But in this movie, they're doing that entire thing where the killer is dead, but he's using his powers to possess other people and force them to kill, and I'm sorry, I just don't really like that. I'm not saying it can never work or it can never be done, but I find it often detracts from the plot. We watch these movies because we like the iconic killers. We want to see them kill people. Having some random person doing the killing instead just isn't entertaining. It would be like if you went to a Superman movie and instead of Superman saving the day, it's just some random civilian who somehow has his powers. Please let Fredy Kruger do the killing in the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. And that's another thing, the kills in this movie are so tame. Coach Schneider gets like 2 slashes on the back. In the school bus killing scene from the opening of the movie, we don't even see the kill happen, it happens off screen. We just see Fredy raising his glove and then it cuts away. Grady has the best death scene in the movie, but that's only because the actor really commits to the scene. He really puts some real emotion into it. But that's just one kill in the entire movie. In the original movie, the kills were great. The death of Nancy's friend looked amazing. I was literally sitting there thinking, oh my god, this looks better than most of the stuff from the 2020s. In this movie, it's like they couldn't even be bothered to try. Fredy just slashes people to death, it's really boring. Another thing is, there aren't enough kills in this movie. In the original movie, they had a large cast, so Fredy could have a lot of victims to kill. In this movie, the cast is just as large, but he barely kills anybody. Well, I guess he kills a lot of people at the party, but we don't really know anything about those characters, and we barely even see them before the party starts. And his kills at the party are mostly just slashing people, so it really isn't interesting. So I wouldn't really count the party kills at all. We know nothing about the victims, and the kills aren't interesting to watch. So for me, these kills don't count because they weren't memorable and they left no impact. Finally, Jesse is a much less proactive protagonist than Nancy was. Nancy tried to fight back. She spent her time trying to research Fredy, and then she tried to drag him out of the dream world and into the real world. And she also set up all these traps in her house so she could take Fredy out once and for all. Whereas when we compare her to Jesse, what does Jesse even do in this movie to try and stop Fredy? Nothing at all. Jesse just spends his time going to school and then going to gay bars. He doesn't even look for a way to try and defeat Fredy. He never even reads Nancy's diary. I mean, come on, Jesse. You know that Nancy must have fought Fredy before you did. You know that she must have defeated him because she survived. And you're telling me you never even read her diary to look for a way of defeating him? Jesse's girlfriend literally has to tell him how to defeat Fredy because he didn't research the information on his own. I really thought they were going to have a scene in this movie where they track Nancy down and ask her how to defeat Fredy, and maybe at first she's reluctant to help because she's afraid of him, and then maybe she helps him train to defeat Freddy or something. But no, Jesse's too lazy to do anything like that. I mean, he has too many important things to do to try and stop a demon from hell taking over his body, such as going to school and going to gay bars. So what did I think of this movie? It isn't a good sequel. The original was great and you should watch it. It has great kills, great characters, and a great plot. The sequel is slow, boring, and uninteresting. The characters are boring, the plot is boring, and the kills are boring. And the entire movie drags on throughout. Everything about this movie is boring. Sequels are supposed to improve on the original, going further than they did, and exploring new concepts the original didn't. Sequels are supposed to improve and expand on the original movie. This sequel feels lesser than the original in every way. The only good thing about this movie is that the ending, the final third of this movie, is so awful that it's like The Room. You have to watch it. But do yourself a favour and skip the first 2/3. They're not even so bad they're good, they're just bad. Well, that ends another review. Some people may enjoy this movie, but for me, I'm just glad the nightmare is finally over.